Alrighty, I think we're here.
Right, we are live. I hope.
Yeah.
Let's assume.
Let's assume. My goodness. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us. Welcome to our fine dining art reception for the Immersive Show.
I know. We have all the fancies. We got some cheese and some meats and some fruits and some wine and cups, which this is hilarious because there's only one bottom. The rest. Anyway, I was.
It's the finest
digging.
wine.
Yeah, well, it is. It's one of my favorites.
It's the Borg wine. Comes in a box.
And we are in our fancy digs.
Yeah, and I wanted to, but to celebrate the whole shut-in sort of thing with and bring toilet paper to the party, but apparently that's not fancy enough. I don't know.
Well, I don't know. All I know is I'm wearing more makeup today than I've wore in a year, and that's ridiculous when we're all like shelter in place. It's a little silly.
This is true. I'm wondering if our archaeologists in the future are gonna look back at this time and wonder why we're so captivated by toilet paper. And they won't find the answer because we don't know either.
I don't know. We haven't run out, but maybe that's why we don't know. When you run out, it gets scary.
Yeah, this is true. But thanks so much for joining us. We couldn't do the reception for the art show right now because everyone is. I keep forgetting what that's called. Artist or resident staycation. What is it? Social distancing. Social distancing. That's what it is. I can never remember what that's called because we're all doing that.
Because you do it every day.
Yeah, I was thinking today. I was making a video for someone that I'm doing a commission for, and I was telling them whenever I'm painting, I'm working on a painting. I'll paint 12, 16 hours a day. I didn't realize that my normal life was considered a quarantine.
Yeah. Although I do feel weird, like we're home all the time, and now I feel, like because I can't go out, now I want to go out.
Oh.
Anyway, it's all silly. I'm sure the minute we're all allowed to go out, we'll be like, I'll hang out with you tomorrow.
I don't really feel any different. The only thing is that there's more noises around the neighborhood.
Oh, that's
during
true.
The day.
That's true. The train and the dogs. Oh my gosh.
Oh, I mean, just the people. Like I hear people out, like in their backyard.
That's true. Yeah.
And it's I don't know. It's funny. But
Yep.
Oh,
silly.
But the show. We should talk about the show.
Yes, and tell us. Well, the specifics are. It was up at the Discovery Center in Frisco. And it was supposed to be up for all of March, and we were going to do the reception March 22nd with a workshop on the 21st. Mm-hmm. And because everything shut down, basically we couldn't do any of that. So we were bringing it to you on your couch.
Yeah, and the Discovery Center was so nice. And it's such a great area too. They have a theater there. And I was gonna do an artist talk in their theater, and we'll do that next year. So I'm gonna go back for a different show. But it was gonna be we were gonna have this immersive sort of thing and all that, and which we have remnants of. I know we posted. I know
they're all behind us and stuff.
Oh yeah, we have some paintings from the show, but also some immersive elements, and so we have to do some videos to really show the immersive because we've only shown like little bits and pieces of it. But this show though was so much fun. I've been painting park scenes for years. Like it's not all I paint. I paint a lot of things, but ever since we were doing some work with the Metropolitan Museum in New York, we were there doing. I think I was doing a talk or something, and I don't remember. But we were up there and we worked with the museum. And for an artist, the Met is like a cathedral. It's
the Mecca of art.
It is. So in the Hurricane Sandy was coming in. And they were saying, everybody leave. But we thought, no, we got stuff scheduled. I want to talk about art. And so we didn't leave. And the hurricane came in, and we were so lucky. The hotel that we were in was like a little island that kept its power and its water while stuff all around us. Like we had the whole front of a building just down from us. The whole front of the building fell off. It looked like a dollhouse, apparently.
Well, and we were actually at the building. Like if people remember this happening, there was a big crane in Manhattan that broke and was dangling, and people were freaking out. We were at the corner of that crane, so we just stepped outside the hotel and we were like, "Oh, that looks serious."
It's on TV. Hey, there it is. But the weirdest thing, that was the biggest thing I think. But the weirdest to me, just hearing people, was at the front of the building of that one that came off like a dollhouse.
Yeah.
Because the whole front, but all the apartments and everything were still in there. So, it was like if you were a giant, you could reach in and play, like a dollhouse. Move all the furniture around. But
yeah, it was a trip.
But as bad as that sounds, after the hurricane left, everything was so quiet and serene and so nice. Like, Echo was my guide dog at the time, and we could walk down Broadway or go to, or I could walk over to Central Park and just let her run. There wasn't anybody around. It was like one of the horror flicks and stuff where
it was a ghost town.
Yeah,
it is now. Like,
city.
Yeah, you see all the photographers out right now, which is like awesome to grab that sort of time in history. You go out to Vegas or Broadway, and it is a ghost town. Yeah. It's wild. So I mean, it was like that, but with rain everywhere. So the streets were real wet, and light was just shimmering off everything. It was really beautiful at the same time.
Yeah, and what's funny, because as bad as all that was, it the workshops were packed. Everything with the art went great. The talks were packed. I guess people who love art are crazy because all that was wonderful. They had to close for the hurricane, of course, but everything leading up to it. But walking through the parks and it was just the most serene, wonderful sort of experience afterwards. It reminded me of like whenever we're in New Orleans or walking through parks in big cities. If we travel abroad and we go to the park, it's just like a complete different area. It's just it's like a bubble of space where all your worries and everything just seem to go away. And I love the idea of the rain washing and everything clean.
Yeah.
And so, it plays with the light and the color.
It's yes. Very pretty. So I should say we have quite a few people joining us. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in.
Thank you so much, guys.
And just to go through the comments really fast, Brooke is on with us, and she says, y'all look fancy.
Hey,
Thank
Brooke.
you. I got my pearls.
This is...
Anyway, okay. So, it's the most dressed up I've been in a long time, and it's probably a good thing. We're not getting out of the house, so this is good. I bathed. It's good. Okay. And Molly Brewer says, nice to be here with you.
Oh, hey, Molly.
Guys, can we touch base tomorrow and have an opportunity? So that sounds awesome. Thanks for joining us. It's always awesome to work, with Molly. It's just great.
Molly's awesome. Yeah.
Barbara Brand says, hey guys, I got my wine too, so salute.
Hey, Barbara.
Margie Rodriguez says, hi guys, Vera from France again. Thanks for joining us so far away. Hope you are doing well over there. And Wheels says, hey guys, good seeing you. Stay safe.
Hey, Wheels.
The stay in place order for North Carolina here tomorrow for 30 days, I believe. Oh my goodness.
Wow.
So, and Vera's in bed. She's just, letting everybody know. And Andy says, what's up?
Hey.
Ashley is, love your glasses, Jackie. Y'all look fancy.
Oh, thanks, Ashley.
And my mom joined and says, hi, J&J. Missed you today. I will say Jack is obviously not on camera with us. And he hasn't had a shirt on all day, so I doubt he's going to join our fancy party.
Oh, he didn't have a shirt on all day yesterday. He's taking this whole... being at home completely,
Well, he always, serious. I mean, he's homeschooled, so he barely gets dressed at all, let's be honest.
Pajamas are the rules. He's like a little Hugh Hefner, I guess.
I mean, hey.
Is it Hugh Hefner that always wear pajamas?
Yeah, he's got the robe and everything.
Yeah.
He's Hugh Hefner. Yeah, that's not... Yeah.
It's his lifestyle. He's a little dude.
Yeah.
He's like the dude.
It's like, whatever. I mean, yesterday he was wearing his Minecraft onesie all day, so...
So maybe not quite the dude, but
he's got his style. It's cool.
Yeah, sweet style.
And Owen says, hey, John. And Mike says, y'all are looking pretty.
Hey, Owen. Well, thank you, Mike. I think Mike's talking to me, sweetheart. I don't want to,
Whatever.
I don't want to burst your bubble.
Whatever. I curled my hair, all right?
Oh.
Anyway.
That's pretty fancy.
Yes. Thank you, everybody.
Really gorgeous, by the way.
Thank you. You're just saying that because I bathed. Anyway. It's funny though. I will say, not to dwell on us getting ready and everything, but I had to laugh at myself because I was putting makeup on and I was digging for like a eyeshadow brush, which I never wear eyeshadow or anything like that. And I opened, and this is And
then you put on the glasses over it all.
I know. And then it was funny because I don't know. Other people out there probably have the same problem, but your cabinets in your bathroom are stuffed to the gild. And so I'm opening up the cabinet and it's like an avalanche. So I'm trying to like hold it with my hands while sifting through things. And I was just like, the things we do It's ridiculous. Anyway,
Yeah, you should,
I'm sure everybody
you should
has
let
that
everybody see your
problem.
pretty eyes. So
Yeah.
yeah, you got 20/20 vision. It's just
Whatever. I'm in an art reception. I look smart.
oh yeah, it's all part of your sweet style.
My sweet style.
That's cool.
Anyway, so Ashley says, I don't think Callie's worn pants for 3 days. So, hey, I feel it. That's cool.
Kelly is her daughter. I should say. It's her neighbor that just walks around the neighborhood.
And Brooke said we should make a theme, a topless show. Like topless for Jack. That's maybe you. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think anybody wants to see. That's an idea, Brooke. But I don't think anybody wants to see this.
Brooke can be our special guest. That
he could be our special guest for that show. Oh my word.
Anyway, so art.
Art, yes, and this show was so much fun to do. I don't know. I have one of those things where and I've mentioned this before, but I have some sort of fixation on umbrellas. I just I think they're so interesting. It's like from a bygone era. It's just it's almost like a man in a walking cane, sort of thing. And I don't know, just
with the big hats and the black and white photos.
I just love it, and then it's obscuring, but then it's not, and it adds a little color. It adds the geometry of it. I just love so I keep putting those into paintings, and the rain paintings. I loved. There's certain topics I have to do every so often. Like I love to paint. A little bit of Western stuff. I love to paint.
Yeah, you go through phases where you'll paint a whole bunch of something for a while and then move on, and then splatterings of that same thing will be in between things. So
yeah. So and that's the way it is with the park paintings.
Yeah, and then typically with galleries they want a theme. So like the hero dogs, and this was.
Mm-hmm. This is true.
You rocking out some themes.
Well, cool. Well, yeah, that's so true. And and the way that we thought we would do this, we were able to visit the gallery. Before the shutdown happened, and they were so nice. They were wonderful, and I did an interview with them, and which I'll post at another time. The sound was a little crazy because it's a big area, so
yeah.
So I'll post that on another time. But we did a walkthrough, so Jackie photographed all the paintings. So we're going to go through, and we're going to go through on that walkthrough, and then and look at the paintings as we do.
Yes, so you are going to be taken on a virtual tour.
Yeah, get ready. Buckle up.
This might be our life for a while.
Yeah. Should we start?
Yeah, go for it. All right, so this is us walking through the gallery, and the first painting we stopped at was A Special Night. So this is actually the biggest painting that you have in the show. It's 40 inches by 50 inches. So, and yeah. I love this one because I think I love the fact that the background is blue as opposed to pretty much every other painting where the background's yellow or it's daytime or something. This has a very romantic twilight feel.
Oh, thank you. I love working on this piece. I love to work big too. I should say in these, like, you may notice a difference in the color between the video and in the photos that we're showing here too. And the reason for that is because these paintings are done with a lot of translucent paints and lots of layers. So as the light enters the paint, it'll actually change. It'll give off different hues. It'll have subtle shifts of color. So during like bright light, it'll look one way. If it starts to get a little darker, it'll the colors will actually change. So if it was in a den or if it was in an office, the morning light would make the painting look a little different than it would in the evening light.
Nice. Yeah, I know. Yeah, in fact, a painting that I love that you did that does this is one for my friend Nancy Durr. She commissioned you to do, or no, it was just a painting that she bought that she fell in love with. But she has it in the front room of her house, and when I go visit her, I'll just peek in throughout the day, and it's crazy how different the painting looks throughout the day.
It's funny. It's really hard to show that in photography too, because like you'll take a picture of the painting. And then almost every time when somebody gets the painting, they're like, "Oh my gosh, the colors are so much brighter than I thought they would be."
Yeah.
But which is nice. It's
are you trying to say I don't take a good picture of your painting?
Oh no. It's with a digital copy. It's just with a scanner with a you're getting like a snapshot of that one instant.
Yeah.
When in life, the way that the texture of the paint and all, as you move a little bit, it'll make it change. So it's almost like it's living a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, should we walk on?
Yeah. Keep going.
Okay. So everybody get ready. Here we go. Strap in.
Strap in. All right. So as we, rotate, pivot, we come up on Rhapsody in Blue. This one is 16 by 20. And I love the romantic feel of this one. It has like a lot of contrast as opposed to some of your other paintings. So, it's just, romantic.
Yeah. It's one of the things I tried to do with this series is to give every painting a different feel to it, like a different time of day or a different feeling, a different emotion. And whenever I worked on the paintings, I listened to music. So I listened to all kinds of music, and I would pull colors from the music. When I hear music, I see colors, so I try to do that.
Yeah.
How and this painting is 16 inches by 20 inches,
yes.
right?
Yeah. So
you probably just said that. Right?
Yeah. So it's this. Well, I mean, you did a couple of 16 by 20s, but it's the smaller one. I should say a couple of comments. Barbara Brand says her umbrella is black, but if you look up on the inside, it's blue skies and clouds. So no matter the weather, you always have sunny skies.
Oh, that's so cool.
Thanks, Momo. Which I love those umbrellas. I've seen those before, and the inside is. Like a painting or some sort of scene. Those are always great. And then
awesome.
Brian Wells joined us and says, everyone that sees the original you did for me, my wife, and their anniversary, can't stop talking about it and love it almost as much as we do. It's perfect, our own masterpiece. Thank you so much for saying that.
Thank you, Brian.
He has, I think it's Quiet Moment. I think that's...
My goodness. Thank you so much, Brian. That means so much.
That's awesome. And then...
I'm sorry. I got an email from someone the other day, and I won't say their name because I don't know if they want their name out there, but they were talking about a painting that I did, Dark Side of the Moon, and about how they're how they get all these reactions, but they had like their 3-year-old daughter,
2.5-year-old,
yeah, 2.5-year-old saw it and started crying because it scared her, and other people love it, and another person was like, it's scary, it's creeped me out, and which I've had people look at paintings and laugh, and I've had people cry. I've never had anybody show fear.
Well, she's 2.5, but yeah.
Well, yeah, still, I'm counting it.
Yeah. So that was a really, it's always awesome to see emails from people that have had paintings and they still have an awesome reaction to them and they love them. And,
that's wonderful.
So that's awesome.
And the cool thing about that painting is that it's a woman's face. It's half of a woman's face, so it's just very intense. But it's not like, it's not like a monster or something.
Yeah.
It's just a lot of intense emotion.
It's like drippy and, it's very, it actually feels a little bit like Angelina Jolie in a movie. Ooh. Where things have gone awry. And you painted it to Dark Side of the Moon. That was the inspiration of the painting. So there, of course, it's going to be a little twisted. It's a little weird.
Yeah. Angelina Jolie, I like that.
It looks just like her. But anyway. So Vera Lane said, very beautiful. That makes me think of Jack Vetriano. I don't know who that is. I'll have to look that up.
Yeah,
but that was probably a painting ago. And then Barbara said, I love this one so much. That was probably a painting ago. Sorry. And
sorry.
Andrea Wells says, I love, or I have a beautiful Bramlett original. So thank you.
Thank you.
Anyway, so there.
Oh my goodness. And I want to say thank you guys again too. We put out a link for the coloring book activity book. That's sort of it's a work in progress. So we just wanted to share it, and we're going to be sharing more of that. And for people on Patreon, we're sharing the entire thing as we're going along, and then the end of it.
Yeah.
But we just wanted to share that, and the response that we got back was so amazing.
Yeah, that was great today.
Thank you guys so much. I know it's sort of it's a tough time for everybody right now, and we're trying to give away things that are fun and just things to do, but to get feedback, it brightens the day so much. So just thank you so much, guys. But here,
let's go on to the next painting.
Let's do this thing.
All right. So as we keep walking, we come up on Amongst the Trees. So, and this is, you'll have to forgive me, I do not have the size list right in front of me, which I prepared, and I totally forgot to grab it. But this one I think is 24 by 36.
I think so. It's big.
It's a bigger one. Yeah.
It's a nice size.
So, and this one I really like because you did birch trees, which you never do, and they just look fantastic.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you so much. It's a happy painting. It's just I don't really paint those paintings that much. I mean those types of trees that much. But I did a painting called The Chase a few years ago where it has deer on the other side of a body of water, and they're running by. And I love working on that painting, and it was just, I thought, one of these days I want to do another painting, because like this that has the horizontal trees with the vertical going on, and it's just the horizontal and the vertical all together. So that I don't know, I love that sort of composition. And then with the people, where you can just sort of see them through the umbrella, I don't know. It was so much fun to work on. And when I was painting the umbrella, I thought, there's no way this is going to work.
Yeah, and this one is one of those where the photo might not do it justice, because it's actually hanging in our living room right now while we took everything down, and it's just the contrasting pinks and oranges with the blue and the water are just beautiful. So,
thank you.
You're welcome.
Shall we mosey?
Let's do it. Okay, so you keep going down the wall, and this one is Ride in the Rain, and this is, I believe this one is 36 by 48. This is the, I think, next biggest one. This is actually the one that sits behind me when we do the live shows on other days. So, we talked about it. Yeah, we talked about it last episode, but this is another great one. I love this one because you can see the hint of a building in the background, and it's just, the colors are really beautiful, and there's a person on a bike braving it one-handed with an umbrella.
Yeah, and it was so funny when I started this one, and I said, I'm going to put a bike in this one and an umbrella, and Jackie was like, "That's crazy."
I was like,
but. Yeah, I don't know, but like whenever we were in Holland, it's like everybody rode bikes and they would carry things, and I know when I was a kid, I had a bike that the brakes worked with the pedals, and then also like you could do one-handed with the brakes.
Well, yeah, and I'm coming from my perspective, which is like I would never ride a bike with an umbrella. I have a car.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
But then when you kind of explained it, and obviously there's areas where just that's the mode of transportation, and people will have umbrellas while they ride their bikes, so that makes perfect sense. And
I just love the idea of being in a city like that with a park on the left, and then you're going by all these buildings, and you're on a bicycle, which I haven't ridden a bicycle in almost 20 years. I mean, I would run into something immediately. It would be a very quick trip. But the sound of the wheels when it's rained outside, I love that sound as you're going through, and the mechanical kind of sounds of the bike, along with the water that's dripping from the trees and all. It's just, there's so much for the senses with that, And
this one, I should say, you put the street posts in this one to match the street post behind me right there. Oh, yeah. Because when this exhibit was going to be up, we were going to have an immersive experience. So you'd see the exhibit, and then you'd walk into basically one of John's paintings, and you'd see one of these lampposts that are completely painted. But it's in 3D, so hence the lamppost behind me. So this painting was probably the only one I think that you put that lamppost in it to kind of tie it all together.
I can't. Maybe so, because I know I did it in another painting, but it was a painting after the series.
Right, yeah.
And that painting is actually huge.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Yeah, it's like 6 feet, and it's a biggie.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Go on. While you do that, Barbara Brand says, "Wow," and then Vera said it looks like Paris.
Oh.
And Andy said these paintings always seem to have a French street feeling to me. Oh,
well, thank you.
That makes sense.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah, nice.
That makes me feel fancy.
You fancy. Okay, so as we turn around, there is this next painting, which is called Bringing the Color. And this is, I believe this is 24 by 36? Or
that
24 by 30? Anyway, so it's another good size one. And this one I find really interesting because my first reaction was I wasn't quite sure how the grayscale was going to go over well with the people that like your work, because you're just known for color. And then, but this got a lot of people were like, oh, I dig that. So,
I was surprised
cool.
too. I didn't know if it would go over, but I love the idea of this woman walking through this path and she's bringing the color, so it's brightening the day, it's bringing the joy. Or it could be the other way, it could be that the trees and all that are bringing the color to her. So I could see where somebody could see that either way. But I want to work on some more where it's black and white, and then the color, it just makes the color seem even brighter, I think.
Yeah, and I think it's interesting because this kind of speaks to the fact that art is, so much of not you, but so much of the viewer, I should say. So, it could be, it's totally opposite. It could be ominous, and it could be kind of creepy, and it could be kind of weird because, the unknown is in front of this person that's walking. So, or they're bringing the color or the vibrancy into the situation. So it's, again, it's all about perspective and, how the painting reacts with you.
Oh yeah, that's a really good point. And I love to do paintings of strong women. So, of women that aren't afraid. They just have an inner sort of strength. So whatever obstacles are in front of them, it doesn't matter. And so I could see that interpretation too, where this woman is going into what would normally be a scary place, but to her it's not. She's
bringing the light, people.
Yeah, bringing
the light. Sue Montgomery Travers says they glow. I remember meeting you at a teacher training.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks for joining. Barbara Brand says, this one with the bike, the previous painting, I love the colors. I can relate to this because I used to be a long-distance bicycle rider.
Wow. That's awesome.
Man, intense. And Brooke said, I like that it gives depth to the piece. Speaking of this one, I believe. And then...
oh, cool.
Yeah, and Barbara said it's like what your own life experience brings to the work. So.
Oh, that's so true.
Yep.
And that's really part of the fun. That's one thing about a show like this that we wanted to do with the reception. And even if we couldn't do it in person, because art receptions for me are so much fun because I get to talk to people and hear what they think, and and then I take that back to the studio, and it makes everything better.
Yeah.
Let's walk.
All right, so...
This is the kind of walking I can get behind.
Well, and you pop into this one,
oh,
so it's like you're there.
Wow.
Anyway, this one is called Reflections. This is 18 by 24, and I've zoomed in there for a second so you guys could kind of check out the texture of this one, because the leaves in the top are, they have a lot of texture and really reinforce that foliage idea. But I love this one mainly because of that reflection of the tree. I just think it's superb.
Oh, thank you so much. I like this too. It has a different feel. It's a much lighter sort of feel. It's almost like if you woke up in the morning and you just go for a stroll in the country.
And it kind of looks like us.
Yeah. There you go. And so it's just sort of that nice sort of feeling where it's a day. It's almost like a day off.
Yeah. It definitely has a lighter feel, and I like this one.
It's romantic.
They're all romantic.
They are. I guess I'm a romantic at heart.
So we popped over to the other side of the room, and this is this is Remnants. This is 18 by 24. And again, this has got another bit of that texture up at the top that you can see as I kind of zoom into it. That really gives it that visceral texture kind of feel. But I like this one. It's really this one is really colorful. This is another one of those that is really colorful in person. Oh,
well, thank you. Yeah, it's a happy painting. It really is, and it has a lot of that thick paint. So whenever you're there in person, it has a lot of the color shifting, with the light and stuff, the interplay and the playing of the light, which is so much fun with it. And it's hard to see in a photo. I think that's why, like we were saying before, when people see the paintings in person, they're a little surprised because with the thickness and stuff, you have thick paint, but also sometimes there's other colors mixed in there. It just makes it different. Oh, and I should say too, this is something that they discovered there. There's actually some UV colors mixed in with the paints too, and at the gallery, the people that worked there were going around with black lights and looking at all the paintings because.
You mentioned that when we went to the gallery to film this, they did the interview with you, and then right afterwards, I think they did a live feed of them doing the blacklight stuff. So I'll try to share that in the video link and everything and let you guys see it. But it's funny is what they would do is they were filming it and then they would shine the blacklight at it, around it and everything, and it almost had this feel of the leaves were kind of moving in the wind and everything. It was really, really pretty when when they would shine the black light on it.
Yeah, that's it's so and it's nice with it. I mean, because you don't need a black light for the paintings. I mean, that's not really what they're for. I do some paintings where I'll change it. Like I'll have a daytime scene, and then with invisible UV colors, I'll also paint a nighttime scene. So a moon may come up and all that if you add a black light. But on most of the paintings, I'll use it just to get more of a spectrum of color.
Yeah.
To brighten it up, to make it more. So if you have a green, you have a light green, a medium green, all that. But then also you've got this other thing going on that's just different, and
it's a surprise.
Yeah, it's a surprise.
So Mark Thorne said, "You do amazing work."
Oh, thank you, Mark.
And Brooke said, "I love the texture."
Oh, thanks.
And then she said, "People have been strolling around the lake outside her apartment. It looks like that."
Oh, nice.
So that was the previous painting, but
that's cool.
Yeah. And Vera says beautiful colors.
Thank you, Vera.
The other thing that I really like about this painting is it kind of captures a moment in time, because it's a different one in the sense that I think it might be the only one that you don't have people in, or a couple specifically. So it almost has this it has this added bonus of what happened. Did the umbrella get forgotten and blown in, or did the couple get in a fight and she's out of there? I mean, I love the idea that it's just something happened there and something was left. So
yeah, and is there somebody just right outside the frame of the painting that's about to
that's running after it? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Or maybe there's a couple that are having like a nice little kiss, and they just lay down just right outside the frame of the painting, and they just lay the umbrella down. It's like, don't need this.
Right in the middle of the walkway.
There you go. Well, there's no one else out there. It's everybody's keeping at least 6 feet apart.
Yeah, that's true.
In that painting.
That's true. That's true. Brooke said aliens, clearly.
Yeah. Exactly.
All right, so as we keep going down this wall, there is this next painting, which is another fairly large one. This is along the riverside, which is actually the one right behind me. So it's 24 by 36. It's a pretty big one too, and this one I really love. My favorite part about this one is the stonework that she's walking on. I love how you. It's like a suggestion of stone, and the colors are muted throughout it and everything. It's probably I know it's kind of silly, but the stonework and maybe the fence along the river are my favorite part.
Well, that's awesome. Thank you so much. I love this painting, and it makes me think of so many different places that we've been that we'll walk to. Like if you go to a city that has a lake or a channel. And then a lot of times there's another lane on the other side of the water too, and you can hear people on the other side laughing or playing, and the sound of the birds. You can hear ducks in the water, all this sort of stuff. So it's just this isolated little area, and it could be in the middle of the city, but you would never know it. And it's just this wonderful feeling.
Sorry.
No, I'm sorry. I was gonna say like in Holland with all the channels, it was like that. In Amsterdam, and then in Indianapolis, and San Antonio a little bit, although it's not open like this in San Antonio next to it.
Yeah, there's stuff because you're down low.
But there's so many places though where you can walk like that.
See, and it's funny because the more I look at this one, it's not the top of the list for me on all the paintings that you did. But the more I look at this one, it's interesting because I almost feel like it's a beautiful scene. It's peaceful. The colors are great. I love, again, the brickwork. But I almost feel like there's something about the figure in it where she's real, something's not right. Something's wrong with her situation. And almost pensive because she's got her shoulders tucked in, holding the umbrella maybe like this. Mm-hmm. And so is she on the phone, or is she upset, or, I almost wonder if there, what's the deeper story here? Clearly something.
Interesting. That's cool. That makes,
I know from all the workshops, it's funny because all the workshops we've done, all the museum tours and everything that we've done, or trained docents or whatever, you just can go off on a painting and what could possibly be going on with that painting. What's the scene, what's the smell, what happened right before, what's going to happen afterwards.
That's
it's almost like making up your own story. It can become fun. I know. And ever since we've, that's our gig, that's what we do. It's I'll look at a painting now and I'm like, what? What's the complete story? And then you make up this.
That is brilliant of you. I gotta say that's really interesting because it did have a different feel when I was doing it. The music that I was listening to, body posture says a lot, so that's interesting. Wow.
Wow.
Whoa.
So Barbara Brand said, oh, sorry, here, I'll go back to that in a second. Okay, this one right next to that painting is called Along the Bank. And this, I believe, is a 16 by 20. It might be 18 by 24, I'm not sure. But again, this is another nice, peaceful one where the couple's, just taking it all in. And again, I love your colors in the water, so it's a really great one.
Thank you so much. And you wanted to say Barbara said something?
Yeah, so Barbara said my favorite part is the railing on the sidewalk. Makes her want to walk there. I would agree. I love that. I love that part of that painting. And then Sue said, I love the negative space in the railing. Again, good point. I love that too. And Brooke agreed. And Dennis joined us and asked.
Hey, Dennis.
Hey. Dennis asked, what are you normally listening to when you're painting some of these? And I know it changes, but, maybe if you recall specific songs to paintings, what were they?
Yeah, that's a good, and Dennis, hey to your wife and the kiddos.
She's been posting a lot of, homeschool videos, and she's rocking it.
All right,
I mean, she's rocking it, man. Props. Tell her props, please. Tell Mary Fee props.
That's awesome, man. That is a job, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do it every day.
I've been listening to lots of different things. For this painting, though, it was, I have a mix on Spotify called Backyard Light, and it has a ton of different bands on it. I mean, it has everything from like a little bit of New Orleans jazz, but it's just sort of a happy sort of feeling like welcome to New Orleans. But then it has some country on it, but not a lot. And it's really kind of old country, more like Willie and Waylon.
Yeah.
It has some Blues Traveler. It has it has so many different things. But the reason for that though is because whenever I was growing up, my family, we went to the lake at 2 or 3 times a month usually. All the way growing up, my family didn't have a lot of money, but they had a little place on a lake in East Texas, and we would go there and sort of camp out and have fun and roast hot dogs and stuff like that. But mostly play in the lake and go fishing and swimming and things. And it's just the music that you would hear, and music that gives you sort of that feeling, because you would be there and you would be away from the whole world. Like you didn't have a phone then. We didn't have cell phones back then and all that.
Yeah.
So it was just family time. It was just this wonderful sort of time. So that's what I wanted here was people out there. They're having fun. They're walking. There's a sailboat, and I don't know how to sail. I wish I did. I have a kayak, and maybe we could get Andy and all of us together.
See, it should have been a bass boat.
Yeah, it should have been a bass boat, and then that's the truth. Yeah, there you go. But I would love to learn how to sail. The wonderful thing about a sailboat is that you can get in one and sail anywhere. You can cross the seas, and so for me, it's a symbol of freedom. Even if it's in a lake. It's just this idea of getting out. You're free. So
yeah,
I love that. But I would love to get a sail for my kayak and learn how to actually do that. And if we do that, Dennis, you'll have to come out and learn how to sail with
us. So Barbara Brand says nice framing here, and Dennis said, "LOL, the kids are naked." Well, Jack's
That's
half
awesome.
naked right now. So.
Yeah. These days.
Brooke says good leading lines in this one. Love the colors in the water. And I like that the colors in the water really gives a time of day because of the pinks and oranges.
Well, thank you, bro.
And Ken joined us and said, Log Cabin Estates, the good old days.
Oh, there you go, Log Cabin.
Nice.
It's good to hear you, Ken. Hope you're doing well with all this everything going on. Man, yeah, Log Cabin Estates. That's right. Oh my goodness, it was that's where we'd go all the time.
Oh, and Sam joined us and said, "Hey there, we've got you on cast on TV, so we're large and in charge in their living room." So
well, awesome. Well, hey, Sam.
So
okay, you know what?
Up?
We've got to make their dogs go crazy.
Oh gosh.
Hey, Whiskey. Hey, Whiskey. Hey, boys. How you doing? We'll try to make the dogs go nuts.
Whatever. They're probably in the backyard.
Yeah, they're snoozing.
Running a track into the mud into the backyard.
Should we move along?
Yeah.
I think we're getting about to the end of all this.
Yeah, so this is the last one in the series. This is our spot, and it's I believe this one is 18 by 24. And it's, I mean, it's, you know what, it's interesting because this one feels a little different than all the others. I mean, I guess because the color is a little bit more realistic, but you know, I love the brickwork in the bridge. You do that so well. So,
thank you.
Props.
Wow. Thank you very much. I repainted that bridge I don't know how many times during this painting, going back with different colors. But, this painting is a little bit different, but it's sort of an amalgamation of different things because I proposed it to Jackie at the Fort Worth Botanical Gardens, and they have these wonderful little bridges that are arced like that. They don't look exactly like this, but they have that shape and that feeling to it. You can get right on the top of them, and East Texas with the water, which I mentioned before, but also Louisiana, where I have family that lives in Shreveport and family that lives in New Orleans. And in the trees and the way that the plants will grow from the trees and out in East Texas and just being out there. So just it's a combination of different things that I love. So it was a different painting. But
so Brooke said that's sweet. Ken said same, love y'all. Barbara said someday you will be a holographic image in our living rooms.
Ooh, nice.
And Brooke said, love this one.
Thank you, Brooke.
Barbara said, that's sweet. Well done. Vera said, Japan inspiration for this one? ?
Oh, well, I changed the bridge and the bridge in the Japanese gardens was much more Japanese influence, and of course, like the way but I wanted to keep that curve though of it. So I wanted a different bridge, but I wanted to keep that same curve that was on that's in the bridge in the Japanese garden. So the bridge it looks different, but it has that same sort of feeling. I think if you were to go across this bridge, so I wanted that feeling of because that bridge is just such a perfect place to be able to stop and take a photo or have a quick hug and before you move on. So it's almost like a pause point.
Yeah, you definitely, I mean, at least in the Japanese gardens, I mean, there's a lot of areas like this, but when you go there, you just kind of want to stop where you're at and just take it all in for a second, because, I mean, that's the point of it, right?
Yeah, and this bridge is a little funny. I drew it in a different way, and I was wondering if it would bug anybody or not, but there's no rails on the bridge. So it's kind of low, like it's almost like at a nice little level for you to trip on. But I did that because I wanted the focus to be on the people, and if I had put the rails on there, it would obscure them a little bit.
It's a bit of tension in the
painting. It's a little bit of tension.
It's a little bit
Are
of
they going to
tension.
make it? Are they going to make it to the
Is she
other
going to
side?
throw them off? I don't know.
Yeah, but I just wanted to be like an arc with them up on the top of that little arc. So
yes,
that's
yeah. So
here we can walk on out of the gallery, I guess. But,
and here we go.
Dun dun dun.
Dun, dun, dun. So that's a really great center. Let me back up for just a second on the comments. Jeff Walls says, brilliant work. Do you have a favorite work, yours and all time? Do you have which it's funny that people ask this.
Yeah. Thank you so much. That's a really good question. I paint because I kind of need to. Like, it's my way of understanding the world and connecting with people. And so painting for me is very much an action. Like, it's doing something. So usually my favorite painting is the one that I'm working on right then.
It's about the process.
Yeah, it is. It's really about the process. And so there's paintings that I love, but every painting is almost like a story to me. I don't know. It's so I love that it's a story, and I love to go back and revisit some of the stories. Like in this series, there's so many different feelings, and they're coming from different parts of my life. So I love to think about that and to live in that memory. But the ones that I'm usually the most that I feel the most about right now are the ones that I'm working on, and I'm working on some commissions over there, but I'm taking parts of myself and putting them in it, and that's kind of fun. So. But I like, in this series, one thing I really like about this series is that I like all the paintings. Like, there's something about each painting that draws me to it. And, I mean, that sounds like a salesman sort of thing to say, doesn't it? But, like, everyone's amazing. You got to see everyone. They're completely amazing. No, each one's better than the one before. No, but I mean, but I painted it because I had to go down to 10 images, for the paint for it. So
Yeah.
I selected the 10 sort of feelings that I wanted the most.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
So in that last painting, Barb Dorrington asked, "Who is the couple in our spot?"
Oh, it's.
Is it us, baby?
Yeah,
Is it us?
it's us.
It's us.
It's us in a way, but it's sort of a stand-in too for any couple, and in that one it's a little more us. Although I didn't try to make it us.
Yeah.
But it is a blonde. It is and all, so, but but I also tried to keep it a little bit vague because. It being a story, I want the person that is looking at the painting to be the protagonist of it. I want it to also be a story about them. A story that you could put yourself into, or you could put someone that into it, and because I mean that's it's like any good story. You want to be the lead in it. You know, and I love that about it. I love that someone can look at a painting, and they'll come up with ideas that a fresh perspective that I never had, and so. For me, that's one of the things that I think is the most fun.
Well, she also said the brickwork was amazing.
Oh, well, thank you.
So,
thank you.
And then Sue asked, "Is there a way for us art teachers to share this video with our students online other than Facebook platform?" Yes,
I'm gonna put it on YouTube, and so every video that I have on Facebook, I put on YouTube, and so all the paintings kind of live. I mean, all the paintings, all the videos kind of live over there. Like we don't really promote the YouTube channel that much. We love all the people over there and everything. It's just, I don't know. Most of our stuff we're usually on Facebook quite a bit. So.
Well, yeah, it's just. I mean, and honestly, like with the setup and the computer, it's always, and other people that make YouTube videos probably feel this pain, but it's a little bit of a guessing game if like the bandwidth is working out, if everything, I mean, just like 4 videos ago, we lost feed 3 times. So, we're inevitably everything ends up everywhere. It's just where we're doing it at the time. But the YouTube channel, if you just, it's Bramblett Art, all one word. So,
and it's also on my Patreon. I'm going to be posting everything there as well, but on the YouTube channel, this will definitely be over there, and I'll post a link on my Facebook and everything.
Yeah. So I want to say really fast. Brooke said she loved the foliage in the last one.
Oh, thank you.
And Sue said I love the diagonals in it.
Oh.
And Barb said that I think you guys have such an amazing relationship, and it's so nice. So,
well, thank you so much. Jackie does a really good job at putting up with me. So that's awesome.
Gosh, diva. Anyway, and Sam said she's currently printing the ebook sample. So time to start coloring.
Oh, that's cool.
Let us know how it goes. And also, anybody that prints it out, we have another Facebook page for people. It's called Drastic Art Measures. And if you're in that group, we just kind of share different topics about like techniques or activities and stuff like that. So I shared it over on that page. And if anybody prints it out and colors it, or their kids do anything, we'd love for you to share it with us, and especially in that page. So
and we could throw it up on a video if you want, if you don't mind, and and then on the Drastic Art Measures page too, we want to help support other artists, and this is just a crazy time for everyone, and I know there's lots of people out there that want to make art and make art. So we're gonna be doing some things on there to try to help support other artists, like maybe if they've never made prints and they want to start making prints, to be able to start with that, and I mean. Real help. I mean, with it,
and that's the big thing is like we get a lot of artists that will come and say, how do you do this, or how do you sell prints? How do you mat? How do you do all this? So that page kind of, I know that the Drastic Art Measures page at least exists for other artists to kind of give their 2 cents and their advice on different things. So so on the comments really fast. Sue said, great, YouTube works for her kids. Brooke would like to know well, first let me say this. A lot of people are a fan of the foliage in that our spot painting. So good job.
Oh, well, thank you. Oh, awesome.
We got a lot of good comments on that. But
good to know.
Brooke wants to know what in the world is in the fruit in front of us.
Oh,
So
I don't know. I didn't put this on her.
This is our reception.
Oh, it's fancy. Yeah,
it's our fancy reception.
It's super fancy.
Hors d'oeuvres.
I wanted to put out rolls of toilet paper, just because in this day and age, that's how you can really tell class. By all of the guests to the reception get a free roll of toilet paper when they leave. So we've got a cutie,
a
mango, fancy sliced cheese.
Yeah.
Fancy. What is
ham?
Ham. Okay. Ham.
Which we should probably get this in the fridge pretty quick because
true.
We can't go to the grocery store.
We have 4 glasses with 1 stem.
Imagine you're drinking.
See, and this just helps you drink more because you can't put it down. You got to hold it. You got to keep drinking. So there you go.
I know. I was when we were setting all this up. I was like, well, I should drink out of one of those, but I was like, I only have one. Oh, that's not. No, just go back to the one I've got.
Fancy. Well, you guys have completed the tour of the art show.
Dennis, Dennis says, AJ says hi.
Hey, AJ.
Barbara Brand says she's got a new Facebook page called Barbara's Treehouse. And she's putting on some of your links. So we'll have to check that out. So Barbara's Treehouse. We will definitely check that out.
That's cool. That's cool. And, I want to say on the Jurassic Art measures, and we'll be posting this like next week or some point. But we really want to help some other artists and things like for people in the area that need to have photos taken of their stuff or want to do booth shots to get in shows to be able to display their art. And sometimes to get into a gallery or to a fine arts festival, you need to have really, really nice photos of your artwork all set up. So we thought we might set that up here, and then people could bring their artwork and just do all kinds of things. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But this is it's a tough time for everybody. But things like that, it doesn't cost anybody anything. It'd be easy to help.
Yeah, Barbara said that on her page that's kind of what she's doing, running around looking for things to entertain people while they're stuck in.
Oh, yeah.
Ricky Schoonover says, I love this. You two are such fun. Thank you for sharing.
Oh, thank you, Ricky.
Thank you. It's great to hear from you.
Yeah.
And Ken said, snacks.
Snacks.
Vera said, crazy time, crazy world, but we have to support art because art is freedom and all that fun stuff. It's
awesome.
funny that you say that because now that we're all like stuck in, the go-to is art. I mean, what is everybody watching right now? Netflix.
Oh,
yeah.
I
TV.
was going to say,
it's a pop quiz.
I don't know. I'm watching a lot of time. I'm watching so much.
You're consuming art. Like that's all you can do right now. You're consuming art.
That's true. That's true. That's so true. I'm usually listening to music while YouTube and Netflix are both playing.
I know, right? So we don't, I hate to say we take it for granted, but it's because it's all around us and we're consuming it constantly. We forget that. Can you imagine if it was gone?
Oh, man.
I mean, I would rather be a shut-in with Netflix or with like art with things to take in than nothing to take in and be able to like go outside.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
I heard that the Netflix was having some trouble because so many people are using it that it started to go down. Well, Facebook maybe, or no, it was Netflix. In some places, like it was down for an hour or so, or here and there, and because a lot of their workers are working from home, and so many people are using it, and then it was like, and I thought, oh, don't you go down, don't you do it.
I gotta watch my King Tiger King or whatever.
I gotta watch that.
Oh, man.
You saw it, didn't you?
Man.
Oh, and tonight,
all in
Picard.
One day.
Picard,
yeah,
and I accidentally read a spoiler. So
I don't want to hear it.
I'm not going to spoil anything, but it's going to be awesome. So if you guys aren't into Picard, I haven't seen the last episode, but you guys need to watch them all because this last episode is going to be worth the entire series, I think.
Oh, I'm excited. And I should say that right now, I think CBS is airing them for free. Normally, you have to pay. You have to have a subscription to CBS All Access, but I guess with everybody being stuck inside, they're like, hey, let's show it for free because. That thing, I want to say they've already got a season 2 planned, and the goal is 5 seasons. I think Patrick Stewart was like, I just want to do it for 5. But really fast. So Jeff Walls chimed in and said, favorite museum been to, ? Also, you look like the lead singer of the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones in that jacket. Dig it.
Yeah. It's just rock and roll stars to get all the ladies.
So, favorite museum you've been to?
my favorite smaller museum is the Meadows Museum in Dallas, because they do everything so right, and it's a nice size for you to be able to walk around the museum and see everything, but not be like, oh my gosh, I need to take a week off work so I can get around here. And it's a really nice size collection. They are incredible when it comes to people with disabilities, and also just everybody, like making sure that the senses, like you go in there, there's things for you to touch, things for you to do. Their docents are top notch. It's just incredible.
Yeah, their docents are fantastic.
Oh man, it's a great museum. The Dallas Museum of Art is awesome. The people that work there are amazing. The Met is probably one of my favorites because of just the collection of art that they have. It's Chicago.
Chicago's my favorite.
Yeah,
I mean, I
nice.
appreciate the locals. Meadows is great. The docents at Meadows are fantastic. I've never encountered better docents than at Meadows, but for me, the Chicago Institute of Art is my favorite. I mean, it was
that's
just
so nice.
I was awestruck. Like, I've been to the Met, we've been to the Met, we've been to the Guggenheim, we've been to all that, but I remember we went in and we were like, I just want to check out this, like, there's just like a little laundry list of ones that we were like, we got to see. And then you turn a corner, there's another famous one. Turn a corner, there's another famous one. And you're like, there's a reason why it takes 3 days to walk this thing, and they're amazing.
That's so true. But and I'm going to go with the Met because I was doing a talk there, and I was talking about my artwork and stuff, and they were like, and I was like, a lot of times I like, if I'm working with a museum, if I'm doing something, I'll go and we'll talk about art and stuff, and they were like, oh, well, is there any like painter that you would want to talk about? And I was like, well, and I can't remember what painting it was, but Caravaggio. And there was a certain painting. I was like, I was just reading about this painting, and something like that. And they're like, oh yeah, we could talk about that one. I didn't even know they had it. It was crazy. So I got to get a workshop group, and we all went over there and just talked about it. But it was just like crazy to think that some of these like incredible paintings, like, oh yeah, it's just around the corner, over there. Well, maybe not around the corner. It's like it's a block down this way. It's gonna be a
ways away.
You need to take some water with you. But yeah, that's a good question.
So, Barbara said, thanks for bathing, Jackie. You're welcome. You're welcome. And then apparently Tiger King got some response.
Ooh.
Brooke was like, yeah, and
it's a crowd pleaser.
Sam said greatness. So, yeah, Tiger King's a bit odd. But it's a train wreck you can't turn away from.
Wow. Yeah, I'm gonna have to listen to that. That sounds crazy.
It is awesome. Brooke said, meow wolf. If you don't mind small spaces and sanity and kids, but they need an adult night for sure. And
oh yeah.
So yeah, the meow wolf, which
we were this close to going.
I know,
we had tickets.
Man, it's ridiculous.
Coronavirus.
Yeah. So we've been talking about going to see, because we're all about the immersive art, and we've been talking about going to see this exhibit for ages, and so is Brooke with us and everything. It's funny. And we just happen to be going to do an art show out in Albuquerque, and so we got tickets, we're going to do this, and then everything hit, and then everything closed, and so we ended up not going, but Brooke got out there before us and went, and of course I'm curious how it went, and it was funny because she said that it was cool, but it was just chaotic. There were so many kids, and there's lots of tight spaces that, if you've seen videos on YouTube about this place, I think there's even like you open like a dryer and you slide down it, and that's like you're going into another room, which it looks like so cool. But yes, it would be nice if they had an adult night, because I imagine it's chaos otherwise. I mean, Jack would love it.
Yeah.
But getting through the hallways or getting in an area with a guide dog might be questionable. I don't know.
It would be interesting. I would love to go though and just check that out. That's so cool.
Yeah,
I'm jealous, Brooke.
I know. I am too. We'll make it out there eventually. So Brooke agrees. Chicago is awesome. Barbara said blown away by the Chicago Museum of Art, and Vera has to sleep. So see you soon.
Oh, good night, Vera. Thanks for joining.
And then let's see. Apparently it was a field trip for Barbara in high school. That's pretty cool.
Wow.
We didn't get any cool field trips like that.
No.
Yeah, Brooke said there's no way Eagle could navigate. So.
I wish I knew any French. So I could say good night, Vera, in French, but no.
I would embarrass myself if I even tried.
Au revoir. See, but I have a Texas accent, so it never sounds good.
Well, you probably sound good over there. Here, it's just you got a Texas accent.
I never
Over
thought
there,
about that.
over there, you're probably like, you know,
I never
a
thought
hot
about
ticket with that accent, like an Australian over here. I don't know about you ladies, but you hear
I
a guy
love
with an
that.
Australian accent, and you're like, "What'd you say?"
I love that idea because I want a T-shirt made that says, "In France, I sound amazing." well, thank you guys so much for sticking with us this long and going through the entire tour of all of the art of the show, and I can't say enough. I mean, from the bottom of my heart, thank you guys so much for supporting, for liking. You know, the shut-in thing is really, it's difficult for everyone, but the online community that we have here and being able to go on there has really meant a ton. It's been,
yeah, we really appreciate everybody joining us, and hopefully, we got a couple more comments, but hopefully you're not feeling too shut in or alone, and you can kind of chime in and you feel like you're at least in the same room.
Yeah.
I think Andy and Sam need to take a picture of us and send it to us. So I want to see how big I am in their living room because they have a giant TV and that's hilarious. Jeff
Finally made it to the big screen.
Yeah. Jeff Wallace says, how much, if at all, do you put into antiquity when evaluating a work of art? A lot escapes me, but I love seeing works from the long past. You're like,
No, hold it. Can you say that again?
Okay, hold on.
How much do I put in antiquity when evaluating
A work of art.
a work of art? I don't know. I mean, like if it ages well, or if it will age well, or
I guess.
I'm not sure. Gosh, I'm not. I might be misunderstanding. But,
Well,
I don't know.
I don't know. Well, maybe he'll write in again. But Brooke said, see, I knew I was going to embarrass myself. This is ridiculous. She was saying how to say goodbye in France. Au revoir.
Au revoir.
Oh God, whatever.
I don't know. I don't know if I'm saying
embarrassing.
But I
think she knows French or something.
yeah,
That's why. Anyway.
probably this is probably.
But
you just gotta say it with comments. Au revoir.
Yeah, there you go. You gotta.
But the antiquity thing, I'm not sure that I completely understand. But I try to paint paintings from the moment.
Yeah.
But I also do paint like I like to paint some older cars and.
Well, when you see older paintings, what grabs you out of them? What do you think has them stand the test of time for you?
Oh, one of the things that I love about them is the way things are different. And I can't remember what year it is, but the way the haystacks are made, you can date a painting by it because haystacks change.
That's true.
So if you see a haystack a certain way, that painting was done at a certain time, and because they it's different later on. And
I forgot about that. That's interesting.
It's funny, or if you see things like if you see we're talking about France, so if you see the Eiffel Tower, when it first was built, it had sort of a salmon-y kind of look or something to it. So if you see some art, you might think that had this different kind of color to it. So if you see some art that has that, you might just think they're taking an artistic license, but in reality they're painting it the way it actually looked at the time. And then over the years it changed into what it looks like now.
What is the name of that painting?
There's a
the Eiffel Tower one that.
Yeah, there's a painting at the Meadows Museum called the
Cafe in Paris or something.
Well, it's
a good one.
It's the Paris exhibition, I think, of 1898 or 1889 or something like that. But it's the one where the Eiffel Tower was actually built for this exhibition. It's like a world fair, and you could always find out where the fair was because the entrance to it was you went through the legs of the Eiffel Tower. So it's kind of an interesting painting, because it's got the tower there, and it's a snapshot in time because you know exactly when it was built. It was right there for then. That painter was there; he was painting it, and this whole fair is going on. So you knew there's people from all over the world that are going around. You can just imagine the sights, the smells, music from all over the world is being played, and foods being made from everywhere. It's just there was actually an entire village from Africa that was it was taken down and then it was re-put up there.
Oh yeah, that's
You know,
right.
just
That's
all
right.
this stuff going on. It was just
Well, and
crazy.
so Jeff,
Toulouse Track, his posters
yeah,
would have been around, like, you know, to go to the Moulin Rouge.
yeah,
And imagine that, like, it was just a poster on the wall. Imagine if you said, "Oh, I'm just going to take this poster." It wasn't worth anything then. But you have it, and suddenly, you know, you're putting your entire family through college forever from this
Yeah.
poster that Lautrec did. Anyway,
Yeah.
sorry.
Well, let me do some comments really fast because they're piling up on me. Mike said, before you sign off tonight, can you show us the art work again? Loved seeing it on the wall. Well, we could probably like go through it really. Maybe, I don't know. It's attached to a video.
Yeah, it's on a video.
Yeah. But we have a separate voiceover video that we're gonna post. So we'll be sure and share that link. We can do that for sure because it's all like in this giant video that we're having to pause during this. But
Here, I can have it play while we
okay. Bonnie, sorry. Okay. Vera chimed in and said "Bonne nuit."
Oh, good night.
All right,
Oh.
the expert. There we go.
Well,
I like
thank
that. And
you,
I'm probably
thank you.
massacring it, but it works. And Barbara said, "You guys are a stitch. So glad I joined." Let's see. Andy said, "Y'all are amazing as usual."
Thanks, Andy.
I'm gonna screenshot that.
Yeah, you should. Yeah. Take a photo of that. Apparently, Andy's been hitting the champagne too.
every day. Linda said, "Thank you both," and Dennis said he loves that bringing the color piece. Said you need to. And Brooke commented on your Texas accent while doing au revoir. And yes, Jeff said in regards to age. So he was speaking in regards to age. Art can capture a place in time.
Yes.
In time long ago that is so different than now. That's one of the best parts about it. You know, I went and saw the Monet exhibit in Denver a month late February, and I mean, I specifically went to Denver to see that. Also, one of my friends, but I was like, I have to see it before it closes, and it's just incredible to see the time captured then, you know, and just it's beautiful.
Oh yeah.
And let's see, what else do we have here? And then Sam said she texted us the TV shot.
Oh really? You're awesome, Sam.
Which, yes, I'm looking at it, and yeah, we're big in their living room. That's awesome.
Oh, nice.
So, and Linda said it was before the Chicago World Fair in 1893. So I think that.
Oh, there you go. That's it. Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Way to be awesome.
So, there you have it.
Yeah, that was an awesome painting. I love that painting.
So I'm curious out there, anybody listening, anybody out there have a favorite museum that they've been to? I know right now, if you guys haven't seen it come across on your social media feeds, there's a lot of free tours and galleries. You posted the Van Gogh in Amsterdam has like a virtual walkthrough, which is actually, I think, really cool because it's not just you click on the piece and you read it, which is a lot of what people are deeming their virtual tour. This is one where you actually walk through it like Google Maps, you know, so that's really cool.
Yeah, that's true.
So I'm kind of curious if anybody out there has a favorite, gallery that they've been to in their life. Barbara said the Met.
Oh, yeah.
That's a good one. That's a good one. You know which one I actually wasn't hugely impressed by? Was the Guggenheim in New York.
Oh.
And I think that's because...
It was a long walk, too.
Well,
it's spiraling up.
I think, well, they're all long walks if you're going to do it all. But I think for me, it's because that's not my genre of art that I really get attached to. And at the time, I forget the exhibit they were showing, but it was like...
Kandinsky?
Yes, it was something... it was
Kandinsky, but it was so... But it was...
It's like modern art, and it was cool and everything, but I didn't feel captured by the specific pieces they had.
The people from it were nice. I was on an art panel with some people from the Guggenheim.
Yeah.
Once, and they were really nice. But yeah, I was the same way.
Yeah, I mean, it really comes down to like what kind of art you really dig. I mean, like the Meadows is all Spanish art, so you gotta kind of like Spanish art.
Yeah,
mean,
but it is cool though, because like you'll see a matador, and it has a whole history behind who it was.
Yeah, and really that you make a good point in that sense that even if you don't like, if you're not particularly fond of that type of art, if once somebody tells you the story or you research it a bit more, it actually becomes way more interesting. Like I'm sure, especially with Rothko and all those artists, I'm like, but then you hear the stories or the concepts, and it's I
have a Rothko story. It's really short, I promise. It's the Dallas Museum of Art had a Rothko once, and it's color field sort of painting. It's you think like it's one color or what, it's not that big a deal. I mean, it seems so simplistic, that anybody could do it. But then and I thought, well, I'm going to try to understand. So I went to the gallery that the painting was at. I just hung out there and just sat there, and I would hear people come up, and their voices would change almost like they were entering a church, though, as they got near the painting, because it was just so big, and the color was just so much energy from it that their demeanor would just completely change. And I thought, oh, that's what it's not about it being a pretty picture or anything. It's about it's generating an effect. It's changing.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, that's pretty cool. And then I finally kind of got it. I'm not the biggest fan of a lot of modern art and a lot of abstract art. There's some that I just love. I love. And but there's also a lot, though, I feel like people just copy what was just done. I mean, that's done at all. I mean, every art's like that. But I mean, it's just like somebody just makes a blob on a piece of paper. The first time somebody does that, oh, it's amazing. The 100th time, it's like, okay.
The banana on the wall.
Yeah. Duct taping a banana to the wall. That's ridiculous. Yeah.
Brooke said Chicago has been her fave. Also went to the Louvre, but didn't actually go in. People watched instead. Dennis said his is the Bramblett Casa.
Ooh.
So that's a pretty good one.
Way to go, Dennis.
There's definitely no shortage of art in that museum.
There you go. Yeah. And it's stocked full right now.
It is stocked full.
We had enough art for like 3 shows, and
I know.
And now it's everywhere.
It's in the house everywhere. Barbara said the Modern in Fort Worth is a fave of hers. You know what? I am embarrassed to say I've never been to that one.
Yeah, I want to go to that.
Yeah, I
Kimball.
Well, Kimball, yes. Kimball's a great one. Has a very Dallas Museum of Art feel, but I want to go to the MoMA in Fort Worth. That sounds really cool.
Let's do it.
Brooke said went to the Georgia O'Keeffe Museum right when she was doing the Meow Wolf thing, and it was pretty cool. There was a protest going on for Tibet on the square.
Oh.
Ken said I peeked in Mama Callie's closet once. Brooke said Thin Line Film Festival, which is a film festival here in Denton, is moving a lot of their photo exhibits online.
Oh, cool.
So Barbara Brandt says my fave exhibit ever at the DMA was Blue Denim Skies. Jim Thorpe, he is so diverse. I was blown away by the exhibit and the curation. The museum has since bought that blue denim piece, and although it's not currently on display, they have it in storage.
Oh,
so
that's cool.
I'll have to look that up. I don't know what piece that is. Right now the DMA has, which actually, it was going down, right now the DMA has this piece going along. If you've ever been there, there's this big hallway that kind of just goes through it, the main floor, and it's like all painted light blue to a really deep dark blue, and throughout it are these real fine, delicate, almost geometric sort of lines, but they have this underwater feel. It's very weird, but periodically as you walk down the hall, there's a painting that matches that blue color where it sits, and it's got a more in-depth look of what is going on with all the lines. It's a horrible description, but it caught me off guard because we were actually there to see Speechless, which was really interesting. But just walking down the hallway was probably one of my favorite pieces. I loved that. And
that's cool. Yeah, and they had that video installation that was cool too.
Yeah.
Where it was like this huge hall, and it was darkened because it was all video, but the video screens on the wall, I guess. And then it was in a house. I think it was one house, but it must have been a giant old house.
Yeah.
And in every room there was somebody playing an instrument or doing something, and they had a speaker by each screen, So in the hall, it made music, but in front of each screen, you could hear that one instrument being played. It was it was interesting to walk through that.
Yeah, that was a good one. So, but anyway, there you have it.
Well,
that's all the.
Well, you guys are legend for going all the way to the end of this.
Dun dun dun. So, and again, thank you for tuning in. Be sure and subscribe to the YouTube channel once it's up, and like it, share it, all that fun stuff. Join us for more. We're doing live streams every Monday and Thursday. So, and whether or not we're doing it kind of in this setup where we talk about art, or sometimes we're just John's going to be doing a painting and we'll be chatting about a bunch of nothing. So, we'd love for you guys to chime in and join the conversation, especially if you're starting to go a little stir crazy like I am.
Yeah, and we're just, and maybe if we could think of activities to do or something, then we'll do that. Just have some fun. Everybody's at home. Might as well have some fun with it.
Yeah.
But thanks so much, guys. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in. We'll take our cold cuts and put them back in the fridge now.
Bye, guys.
Thanks.